Justice Sanjeev Khanna is set to take helm as the 51st Chief Justice of India on November 11, 2024. His appointment isn't just another career milestone. It's a culmination of a legacy marked by resilience, judicial independence, and commitment to the rule of law. A legacy embedded in his family's history. Born into a family steeped in legal principles, Justice Khanna's journey has been influenced by some of India's most iconic moments in judicial history, including the courageous stand taken by his uncle, Justice Hansraj Khanna, during the infamous emergency of 1975. Justice Sanjeev Khanna was born on the 14th of May 1960 in Delhi into a family that had already made its mark in the Indian judiciary. His father, Justice Devraj Khanna, served on the Delhi High Court bench with distinction. His mother, Saroj Khanna, was a lecturer in Hindi at Lady Shri Ram College, adding to a household culture deeply committed to education and the values of service. Justice Khanna's formative years were spent at Modern School Delhi, where he excelled academically and developed a keen interest in social issues. His parents instilled in him an unwavering sense of responsibility towards the society he would one day serve. Encouraged by his father's work and driven by his uncle's influence, Justice Khanna enrolled in law school at Delhi University's prestigious Campus Law Center. In law school, he quickly gained a reputation for his analytical skills and dedication to understanding the intricacies of the law. He graduated and began his legal practice in 1983, primarily focusing on constitutional, civil, and criminal law cases in Delhi's courts. This early exposure honed his approach to interpreting complex legal principles and balancing them with social justice, qualities that would later define his judgments. Justice Khanna's early career saw him working tirelessly in the High Court of Delhi, developing a reputation as a diligent, fair-minded advocate. By 2005, he'd been appointed as an additional judge of the Delhi High Court, becoming a permanent judge in 2006. Over the next decade, he presided over an impressive portfolio of cases, displaying a unique blend of fairness, intellect, and social awareness. His judgments often displayed an acute understanding of the intricate balance between individual freedoms and societal needs. For instance, in a 2010 ruling, he advocated for the rights of women to property under the Hindu Succession Act, thereby strengthening women's rights in ancestral property matters. This approach, grounded in the belief that laws should evolve to reflect modern society, earned him respect from colleagues and citizens alike. In January 2019, Justice Khanna's judicial acumen and dedication to justice led to his elevation to the Supreme Court of India. This elevation, however, was not without controversy. Justice Khanna was elevated above some of his senior colleagues, a move that stirred debate within the judicial community. However, his deep knowledge of the law and commitment to upholding the Constitution ultimately reassured critics of his suitability for that role. Justice Sanjeev Khanna's time on the Supreme Court has been marked by several impactful judgments, each reflecting his cautious yet decisive approach to judicial responsibility. One of his landmark judgments, which opened up the office of the Chief Justice to scrutiny under the Right to Information Act, was a significant step towards judicial transparency. His reasoning was clear. The judiciary, while independent, should not be beyond accountability. This landmark decision has strengthened public trust in the judiciary, promoting transparency without compromising judicial autonomy. In his judgments on contentious issues like the abrogation of Article 370 and the electoral bond scheme, Justice Khanna has consistently leaned towards protecting democratic values. In the electoral bonds case, he voiced concerns that the scheme could erode electoral transparency by allowing untraceable corporate funding to political parties, potentially swaying democratic processes. His caution and integrity in such decisions have underscored his commitment to protecting the principles enshrined in the Constitution of India. His stance on marriage dissolution under Article 142 of the Constitution, which empowers the Supreme Court to issue judgments in cases where conventional laws may not provide relief, has also been a noteworthy reflection of his judicial philosophy. Justice Khanna has argued for the need to use his power sparingly with the utmost respect for legislative intent and judicial limitations. Justice Khanna's legacy would be incomplete without mentioning his uncle, Justice H.R. Khanna, who left an indelible mark on Indian judicial history. For its remarkable dissent in the ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla case, Justice H.R. Khanna took an unflinching stand during a dark period in Indian history, the emergency imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1975. This period saw the suspension of civil liberties, with thousands of political opponents detained without trial and a clampdown on freedom of speech and press. The Supreme Court was tasked with determining whether the right to life and liberty could be suspended under these circumstances. In a shocking 4-1 verdict, the majority of the bench ruled that citizens had no recourse to habeas corpus, a cornerstone of individual liberty during the emergency. Justice H.R. Khanna, however, stood as the sole dissenting voice, declaring that no power could strip citizens of their fundamental right to life and liberty. He wrote in his dissenting opinion, "Without such sanctity of life and liberty, the distinction between a lawless society and one governed by laws would cease to have any meaning." This powerful dissent, often celebrated as a heroic act of judicial courage, ultimately cost Justice H.R. Khanna his anticipated position as Chief Justice of India. His principled stand against arbitrary state power drew significant backlash, and he was superseded by a junior judge for the position of the Chief Justice of India. Choosing principle over ambition, he resigned in protest, becoming an enduring symbol of judicial integrity. Decades later, his dissent in ADM Jabalpur has been vindicated and celebrated as a moral victory, the Supreme Court eventually recognizing the importance of his stance. Justice Sanjeev Khanna's path to the CJI role brings this story full circle. Although his tenure as the Chief Justice of India will be brief, only 6 months, his plans reflect a strong commitment to enhancing judicial efficiency and accessibility. One of his priorities will be addressing the Supreme Court's staggering backlog of cases, which currently stands at over 82,000. Justice Khanna believes that only issues of national importance should reach the Supreme Court, with high courts taking the bulk of regional issues. This decentralized approach could make the justice system more efficient and reduce several delays. Known for his reserved nature, Justice Khanna is deeply private, rarely granting interviews or engaging in public discourse. His modest demeanor belies a steadfast dedication to upholding judicial propriety. He has openly voiced concerns over judicial overreach and political interference. Recent statements reveal his cautious stance on the growing trends of public interest litigations in the Supreme Court, which in his opinion should be regulated to prevent overburdening the judiciary with issues that do not require its immediate intervention. Justice Khanna's life story is a compelling blend of personal integrity and professional dedication. His uncle's dissent continues to inspire a new generation of judges. Justice Sanjeev Khanna's own legacy is characterized by his commitment to transparency, restraint, and a judicious approach to reform. As he prepares to take the role of the Chief Justice of India, he carries forward his family's torch of unwavering integrity and dedication to the Constitution, a beacon of justice for all those who may seek it.